Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the Naughty Nasty Gangsta Crips out of the north side of Long Beach. Naughty Nasty Gangsta Crips, also known as Two Ends, hail from the north side of Long Beach like I already said before. They are more of a newer set, being formed only a few decades ago. With only being around for a few decades, they still have prominent rappers from their set, like Vince Staples, Joey Fats, OT Genesis, and now XGD turned Super Crip, YB in the mirror. The Two Ends are cool with hoods like the Insanes, and rivals of hoods like the Mafia Crips, the Boulevard Mafia Crips, Eastside Pain Bloods, SMM, and the Brick Boys. With that being said, let's get into some cases involving them. Teron wasn't a gangbanger. He was actually a good dude with a bright future. He was 19 and a full-time worker at the post office. He just bought a brand new Cadillac and often visited Long Beach to see his cousins. They were involved with the Two Ends. Miguel from a Hispanic gang called Evil Ways in Orange County got into it with a group of younger boys outside of an apartment complex in Garden Grove. Garden Grove is a city in Orange County. Miguel punked the boys by pulling out a blade and took their skateboards. One of the boys' names was Jeremiah. He wasn't feeling this and called his big brother Zeke, who was from Two Ends. Jeremiah told his big brother Zeke what the Evil Way members did to them. Just like any big brother, Zeke wanted to slide for his little bro. Teron drove Zeke and a group of several other Two End members to Garden Grove to handle the situation. As they arrived, Jeremiah pointed to where Miguel and his crew was. Zeke bounced out tripping and asked Miguel if he had a problem with his little brother. Miguel's friend Silent asked Zeke not to make a scene. Zeke replied, "If you mess with my brother, I got a problem. Ain't no turning down." Miguel had his hands in his pants. Zeke repeatedly told Miguel to take his hands out of his pants or he was going to go up. Once he refused, Zeke told one of his little homies, Keith, to get out the car and shoot Miguel. Keith shot Miguel till his strap jammed. Zeke and everybody else got back in the car and they all sped off. All involved was later picked up, and Teron, being the driver and not having any gang past, used this as his defense. He said he was unaware and was just driving a friend to his brother. He was still charged and received 30 to life. On July 21st, 2006, around 9:45, Maurice and Darnell were chilling in the alley on Andy Street in Long Beach. Two men pushed up on them and said, "Y'all from Two Ends?" Darnell replied, "We don't bang, bro." One of the two men again asked, "Y'all sure y'all not from Two Ends, cuz?" They both said, "Nah, bro, we don't bang," and they walked away. 10 minutes later, Maurice heard some people arguing on Andy Street. Maurice and Darnell decided to see what all the commotion was about. They seen Jerome tripping on a dude named Richard who was with a group of Boulevard and Mafia Crips. He was one of the men pressing Maurice and Darnell earlier. This time, several people would be on the street watching the altercation. Richard and Jerome ran a fade, which ended in Jerome getting his ass knocked out. Darnell's brother Trey caught a fade with another dude from the Mafia and Boulevard Crip group named Rod. Darnell, his brother Trey, their mom, and Maurice carried Jerome into Darnell's mom's apartment, as his ass was still knocked the hell out. 3 Mafia and Boulevard Crips approached him, and Rod put out a strap. Rod shot Darnell, taking his life. He even shot Maurice in the arm. Several witnesses would say Rod shot Darnell because Darnell socked him and dropped his ass. Rod couldn't beat him with the hands, so he had to take his life. Rod was sentenced to 50 years to life. May 5th, 2007. Around 1 a.m., Cleaner was working at a Denny's in Lakewood. A group of 4 to 5 African American men came into Denny's cussing and being loud. They were told to be quiet by the staff because there was a lot of families in the establishment at the time. Many people in the Denny's would leave, and the Denny's manager told them to go as well. As the man left, Cleaner noticed the man from the group pull out a strap and fire a few shots into the Denny's. Cleaner and a few other witnesses would later pick a man named Javonte out as the shooter. September 2nd, 2007. Justin was in a group of about 20 people at a Chevron on Artesia Boulevard in Bellflower. The Chevron parking lot was full of commotion, and all the 20 people was turned up. Everyone was going to a nearby party. A group of men from Two Ends would drive by, and they would air out the parking lot. Justin dropped to the floor immediately and wasn't harmed. A woman named LaShawn wasn't so lucky though. She was shot in the heart, and she would lose her life. Several witnesses would later come forth and pick out the shooter. October 14th, 2007. Around 11 p.m., Daryl went to a party at a club called Barbary Coast in Gardena. After about 5 minutes inside the club, several fades broke out, ended in the club having a shooting. Daryl walked out the club and walked to a nearby Taco Bell. He soon was approached and pressed by a man. He pulled out his strap and pointed it at Daryl. He asked Daryl, "Oh, you want some too?" Daryl immediately ran. He shot at Daryl 9 times, but bruh couldn't shoot like Ben Simmons and only hit Daryl twice. Unlucky for him, police were in close proximity and arrested Javonte quickly. What Javonte should have known was all the shootings he did were on camera, from the Denny's, the Chevron, to the club. Police had several witnesses from the 3 shootings, and even used Javonte's 2N affiliation against him. Javonte even had phone calls telling his homies they needed to get rid of some of the witnesses. Javonte made the police life easy, and they sentenced him to life. In the early morning of June 27, 2014, police discovered the body of a man named Marcel on a street in Long Beach. Around 2 months later, a 2N member named Christopher was picked up and charged with popping Marcel. He gave his account on what happened. Christopher was at Ramona Park in his hood with several other 2N members when a blood set called Eastside Pain pulled up and started dissing 2Ns. The Eastside Pains began to shoot at the 2Ns. Christopher said Marcel was a part of the Eastside Pain crew that pulled up. Later that day, several 2Ns drove around looking for Bloods. They caught Marcel on a motorcycle and aired him out, taking his life. Christopher was sentenced to 57 years to life for this shooting. You know how the streets go with revenge and payback. It only took 1 week. July 4th, 2014. Eastside Pain members got their get back for Marcel, who lost his life to the 2Ns. Marcel's cousins Carrie and Clyde and other Eastside Pain members caught Kayon in the alley and ended him. The whole shooting was caught on camera. They even used Clyde's girlfriend's car. Around an hour later, Carrie's apartment was shot up on Elm Street in Long Beach by the 2Ns, but nobody was harmed. Police later tapped Carrie and Clyde's phones. Carrie was later arrested and placed in a cell with informants. Carrie admitted he lied about his alibi and that the 2Ns shot up his house after his group shot a 2N member. Carrie even admitted that he was the driver and someone else was the shooter. Carrie, Clyde, and the other Eastside Pains were charged with this crime. This will conclude another episode of Warren Cali. If you haven't already, check out my previous videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.